Hello, chat, and welcome to something I don't even know what I'm going to title. I don't know if this is the Luminary Life Update podcast, the LUP, or if it's just wandering down into the abyss with me, perhaps. So it's just kind of a channel update, I suppose. I've got some notes here. I don't really know how to bring up all these conversations. I don't know how to break the ice on my own little podcast here. I used to, but I can't do it the same way I used to back in the day anymore. So, oh well. So, first of all, let's set the stage. This should be going out in early January, ideally January 1st, if I can put it together that fast. And I'm currently recording it. It is 6:17 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, December 28th, 2024. So, here's what's going on. How do I want to broach this topic? How do I want to unleash this information? Things are going to be changing. Okay. And I don't know by how much. Nobody should freak out or spasm or anything. I think it'll be fine. But things are going to be different here in 2025. So I've got my notes. Let's just kind of go down the notes. I don't know how long this is going to be. I don't know what I'm going to call when I upload it. I don't know what I'm going to put for the visual. Maybe I'll just call it a LUP episode. And we'll call it as it is, right? Anyway, first of all, I want to finally kind of give a debrief on Call of Duty. Okay. Now it's been a couple months since that. It's almost been 3 months since we finished that, I think. Maybe 2 months. I don't know. See, it's already been so long. I can't remember when it happened. But looking back on it, I just want to kind of explain and give better context and just kind of explain that I did the Call of Duty thing. First of all, it was just a fun thing. Like, oh, what if I did this? Right? There was no greater meaning behind it. But along the way, it was not easy. I just want to put it like that. Okay. Cause any schmuck, if you didn't have a job, if you have infinite free time, it'd be very easy to do the Call of Duty project. But I don't. I have a part-time job where I constantly flip my sleep schedule for because I work 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. So I have to go to bed really early for it. And if I want to stay up to play Call of Duty, that really impacts that. So then before you know it, you're taking naps after work so you can play Call of Duty and then take a nap to go to work and then, taking a nap after that and all this other bullshit. So it was actually really hard to do. So I knew by the third or fourth day or the fifth day probably that I was like, okay, this is really rough. This is really going to suck. But we powered through it and we got it done. And I dare say I'm almost nostalgic for it because at least back then I was streaming 30 days in a row or whatever. So it was kind of funny. It was kind of cool. So along the way as well, part of it, I was stuck in this thing where I'm still kind of sick. Sorry. So it's the end of the year. I'm still a little bit. I have a light cough. I'm not really that sick otherwise. I don't know. Maybe it's that long COVID they talk about. Let me get this video demonetized really quick, right? I take a sip of water. I could cut that out, but I'm lazy, quote unquote, right? Starting a second recording from here to people are talking to me and throwing off my mojo. Anyway, another difficult part of all of it that I haven't really brought up at all is that in the middle of all this Call of Duty shit, right, I have no time to do anything except stream and work and not even really sleep. And in the middle of it, I'm also realizing at the time that I don't really want to and I can't be friends with somebody anymore. So I'm in this weird rut where I can't just I'm already signed up for a project kind of. So it was really annoying. It was a really kind of rock and a hard place kind of thing, but it was being stuck between 4 rocks and 12 hard places basically. So that was also fun. So it was just a really rough time in many, many ways, but looking back on it, I was miserable during it, frankly, and I'm sure some of that came through in the streams. And I'm sorry if I'm not always sunshine and rainbows, but overall, looking back on it, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and we got plenty of awesome clips from the streams to put on TikTok and everything. That was cool. shout out to TikTok. It might be going away next year or whatever. I doubt it, but like people are telling me like, I don't know. And they're like, yeah, so there's actually this other place called Lemonade. I'm like, well, why wouldn't they just ban that place right after it, right? I don't know. That's a whole other thing. I like TikTok because it is on average the most successful place for me to post shorts. So YouTube is my home platform, but TikTok has been pretty good to me. And Instagram has not, kind of, anyway. So I'm happy I did the Call of Duty thing. It was miserable while I was doing it, but I'm really glad I can look back and say, yeah, I did this thing. I think maybe the 3 days of Dragon Ball make it hard to retell the story because it wasn't technically 27 days straight of Call of Duty in a row. And I can't really say that to people because I don't want to lie, but I also hate to, I don't know. It's just funny. So that's the Call of Duty thing. So now we get to the fun part. We get to look into the future now. So what's the deal? Well, if you're like me and you're not like me, nobody's like me. That's my blessing and my curse on this planet. But I have noticed that I just get too, and I think everybody can notice this if they're paying attention, but I get too caught up in the time stamping and all the other like maintenance-ial infrastructural work of the channel that it impacts my ability to just sit down and play stuff, which is what I really want to do. And right now, that's technically the stuff that sets me apart from other people, but at the same time, I don't have an audience to notice that and really like to make use of that and get like good value out of timestamps or whatever, right? So here's the thing. 2024, I spent a lot of time and energy on other people and caring about opinions and how to present myself, all that kind of shit. And so 2025, we're doing things a bit differently. Okay. I want to, going forward, I want to finish and again, this is December 28th, so I don't know if I like did any of these things by now. But I want to finish the Vampire Survivors Castlevania DLC. I want to finish Sparking Zero story stuff, and I want to finish Yakuza 8. I will timestamp all those remaining things as well. And after that, everything is free game. Okay. I'm going to just play whatever I feel like playing. I'm kind of in a Gran Turismo kind of funk right now. I don't know if that'll be the case, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now when I finish those other things. But I just kind of want to go ape shit and just do whatever I want. And we can plan around things and say, oh, there's Yakuza Pirate coming out in February and, we can play that, but I just kind of want to just go crazy. And so maybe I set time aside and I just stop streaming for a little bit and I just focus on a song I want to cover or whatever. I've got a lot of music stuff I want to do. I've got a lot of other funny things I want to do. So just be prepared for just anything to happen because that's kind of been the raison d'etre of the channel. And I don't think I've really been doing enough of that. So at this point, 2025, we're looking at a little bit of a rebrand. Okay, it's still going to be Vague Luminary, but the description is going to change. What I can tell you right now, at 6:28 p.m. Spencer on December 28th, 2024, can tell you that right now I'm going to have a new profile picture for my Discord, Steam, and Twitter profiles. I consider that more of like a personable thing, whereas YouTube and TikTok and Instagram are more of like a monolithic entity kind of, right? So I don't want to fuck with those. That needs a logo. So I'm going to have a new profile picture that I'm very stoked about. And it's always fun to change your profile picture like once a month, once every 2 months or whatever. I'm going to change my bio. Right now it explains like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. I'm on a faulty quest to manifest myself. That's been my thing for a long time. I'm going to simplify it because now I've proven that I am all of those things and I don't feel the need to claim out to people. Yeah, I play guitar. Yeah, I play the drums. Yeah, I can sing and I play video games and all this other bullshit, right? That will just become fundamentally clear at this point. That's what's cool. That's what's fun. Also, so where did this all come from? First of all, so I got sick by about like the 12th, the 13th, 14th, 15th, somewhere around there, middle of December. And Christmas was frustrating me and I work in retail. And while it wasn't really that bad, it was still frustrating because like I'm working and I can't really focus on shopping or whatever. I did manage to get everybody, a bunch of stuff and on time and everything. And I was very happy about that. So my Christmas went well. but there was stress leading up to it. And I was sick and I was frustrated and I couldn't fall asleep for work. After I'd been gone for like 6 days after calling out sick for a few shifts, and I was feeling really bad because I didn't want to call out again when I wasn't really that sick. I just couldn't fall asleep. And so I was mad, and I was like, okay, I want to just kind of push the reset button. I want to, this is my heel turn. This is my villain arc, my villain phase, whatever you want to call it, right? This is where the black part of Black and White happens here in 2025. So, it still sounds great. Let's go. So, yeah, I just, really frustrated, really just torn out of whack. The past couple months have been crazy since the Call of Duty thing. Just feeling like I'm just not doing enough, all that other kind of funny stuff. And I was sick, like I said, and, now it's just kind of been the slow build up to this whole thing. And I talk about like this thing that's happening right now because it should be, it should be happening by the time you see and hear this or whatever. But of course, it's fun to record things with the intent of releasing them later than fast as possible, right? So I also want to make a new logo. I don't think it'll be done by the time I want to put this up, and so I'm frustrated because I'm like, well, do I want to wait until I have a logo and then wait to put this up? Or do I just want to like mention this here and yada, yada, yada? It's still going to be a VL, but that's as much as I'll say. I've got some other like ideas planned out, but I have virtually no visual art skills. So you gotta give me some time to cook. Okay. But yeah, I just been really, really frustrated and stressed out and annoyed and angry at a lot of things. So pardon me if, please excuse me while I tend to how I feel, as the good boys in Metallica say. So that's, that's really kind of the crux of the biscuit here. Okay. So, that's all my notes. 2025 will hopefully be really cool. Earlier this year, 2024, I don't feel bad to share this. Earlier this year, around January to March, I lost 20 pounds. That was cool. I made some lifestyle choices, and I lost 20 pounds, and I kept them off for quite some time. But the past few months, I've gotten all 20 of them back. But the past couple weeks, I don't know, somewhere on there, I've lost 6 of them again. So I'm happy with that, and I could feel the difference. So I look forward to making more progress. I'm not a superly ridiculously fat fuck or anything, but I'm an American. It's my right to be a bit overweight, right? I have no problems to tell that to the world, right? But of course, it's better to not be fat. I don't think there's any aesthetic quality to that personally, So that's another thing I get to work on next year. And none of this I would qualify as like my New Year's resolutions or anything, because I'm just going at it. It's just this machine that I'm just going to keep plugging away at. And I'm hopeful that someday all of it will make sense and be valuable to other people, hopefully, and give financial security and comfortability to my life. But I just want to do stuff, and hopefully I find the right time and reasons to do stuff in the future. So blah. Hopefully I can get over this cough as well. Jesus Christ. Blah. But yeah, there's not 2 hours to wring out of this. So the grand plan from here, okay, 2025, welcome to the new chapter, the heel turn, the villain arc, whatever you want to call it, the thing going forward, okay? I'm going to do what I want. And so that means I'm not really going to timestamp stuff anymore, but we're going to first finish Castlevania Vampire Survivors crossover, Sparking Zero, and Yakuza 8. You can expect Yakuza Pirate when it comes out. And I've made promises of other Yakuza content I want to do. I've made promises of other Call of Duty content I want to do. But I really just want to throw caution to the wind and do whatever the fuck I want to do, okay? Because I keep acting as if I have like expectations, like I have an audience that expects things of me and they're like waiting for me to do stuff. That just isn't the case. You know, let's be honest. I haven't at any point given anyone the false idea that I'm like already successful or I'm already like an interesting person because I have like, you know, however many people on YouTube or whatever. At the time of recording, we have 122 subscribers. It's gone up to 124 and then back down to 122, I think twice. I don't know what happens. I don't know if the people come up for one thing and then they get turned away by the next. That's what we do here at Vague Luminary. It's about to get way more vague and way more luminary, motherfuckers. So, you know, you never know when it's like, oh yeah, remember when I was playing this game 3 months ago? Yeah, we're just going to run another stream of this or whatever. And I'm really good at tracking what I have played and what I've played and what I haven't finished, what I considered like, canceled, what I consider, you know, done, what I still have shit to go back to. And with this process as well, it'll help me because I've like at least a dozen games that I've like finished the base game of, but didn't do the DLC. And I still struggle to this day with thinking of if I'd want to do New Game Plus or if I just want to pick it up from where it's at and let the stream just kind of say, oh, what the fuck's going on? So yeah, I know I said this will be the you know, in conclusion, but you know, I guess in the secondary conclusion, I'm going to do what I want to do and just let it ride because I want to be able to play more games. Yakuza, when I started the Yakuza project, it was November, I think 2022. And it took me about a month per game, which sounds like a lot of time. But you know what's better than a month per, what's worse than a month per game? Taking like 7 or 6 months per game, right? That's really shitty because some guy trips over himself because he doesn't know if he can wring out more than an hour's worth of playing the game or if he can't, he has to go back and do timestamps. How is he going to, what's a good title for this? You know, all this other bullshit that just doesn't matter. It matters to me, frankly, but it doesn't matter to anybody else. And the amount it matters is not more than I would like to spend, than the energy I would like to spend just playing stuff and getting stuff done and having those experiences, because that's what I want more than anything. So that's my declaration of war. That's my call out post. That's my warning to the world. And I'm excited to see what 2025 can bring us. Somewhere in me, I wanted to do kind of a retrospective on 2024, but considering where I'm at right now in a lot of my feelings and my state and everything else, we're just going to skip that. And I have many awesome plans. You know, maybe when we turn on memberships, we can have like the Vague Luminary quarterly meetings as if you're all stockholders or something. I think that'd be really funny. That's one idea I have. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of ideas. And at the end of the day, I just need to keep doing more stuff for people to hopefully find me and then say, well, I like the stuff this guy's doing. And then they get their face blown off when I release like a death metal song out of nowhere. Right. And, then I go back to our, part 34 of our Animal Crossing playthrough or whatever. Right. That's the kind of wanton insanity and chaos that I want to invoke upon the people that follow me. So if that sounds like fun, if that sounds cool to you, feel free to follow me everywhere. I'm on everything. So yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side. I still don't know what I'm going to title this or what visual I'll put to it. Maybe it's a LUP episode after all. I think that'd be the easiest thing to do. But that's all I know. So I'm excited for 2025 and you should be too. So hopefully in the future we can look back on this and see if it was successful. And at the very least, maybe the channel isn't successful, but hopefully I'm able to play more games and get more stuff done and say, yeah, I'm streaming a little bit, but maybe I get back into watching anime and I just stream every other day instead of every day. And who knows? So I'm optimistic. Oh, another fun thing. I'm probably going to leave my job of 4 years pretty soon. That's cool. That's a story I don't really want to, I'd love to tell, but also we're supposed to be a conclusive part of the video. I guess it will be a video. I'm recording just audio right now, but it's the conclusion of the video, so I don't want to explain. But yeah, I've been working at my current job for 4 years now, and I definitely won't be there 4 or 5 months from now. So I got to start job searching. And that's another fun element of my life that's going on. And my friend, one of my best friends that I used to work with, who moved to Colorado in June, came back for a week for the holidays. And he was here yesterday and we got to hang out, but not as long as we originally thought we would because of family plans that he had. And then I, with a quivering voice said, yeah, it would be cool if we could hang out tomorrow morning. And we did, only to find out immediately that actually he had things he had to do around noon. So we were only able to hang out for 2 hours. And now I won't be able to see him for another 6 or 7 months or a year, maybe. And, they're going to be in Colorado for 3 years instead of 1 year, like I originally thought. So it's just been rough on you, boy. Hi, this is Spencer from 27 hours in the future. My car died when I went home for lunch at work. I live close enough by. I go home for lunch because I have an hour, so I basically get to drive 10 minutes back and forth and spend 40 minutes of it at home. And my car died when I needed to go back to work. I was able to finish my shift and everything, but that's awesome. That's another thing that's just piling on top of everything else. How fucking cool. We might get it fixed. We might not. It's a 98 Explorer, so I'm not really going to be, I don't think it's the end of the world if I have to send it to the land of wind and ghosts, so to speak. So that's just another fun thing. Anyway, I'll let Spencer from 27 hours ago resume. And another one of my best friends is moving away in January. So that's cool, moving to fucking West Virginia from Washington. And another friend is moving to Spokane across the state of Washington at the end of March. So life is a fucking nightmare for you boy right now. And I hope that 2025, I can grit my fucking teeth and sink my fangs deep into your skin. I don't want to spoil my lyrics too soon. I've got some great lyrics that I just can't wait to drop on like a death metal or grindcore song at some point. Shout out to Pig Destroyer. But yeah. Just imagine me with gritted teeth and kind of a really twisted smirk on my face and like a glint in my eye. Okay, that's the kind of energy that I want to carry forward to 2025. It's, this year, 2024 has been about, I hope people like this and I should do this because, this is what, this will be so cool for other people. Next year, it's going to be all about me. Okay. And if you think I'm cool, that's awesome, but don't get it twisted. I know I'm cooler than you.